Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're embarking on a new chapter that we're doing. We are starting to commercial stone crab this year, and it's pretty cool, pretty nostalgic. When I was born, my dad and my grandfather were commercial fishermen for lobster down in Key West, and really spent my whole entire childhood growing up commercial fishing with my dad. Got my dad on the boat today. Got my cousin on the boat. He's going to help us. So pretty cool that we get to restart this chapter that we left off on 27 years ago today. We're starting back out again, and pretty cool that I get to share it with my kids and my wife and the baby and the family now, and they could kind of experience what I used to do when I was growing up. But we're gonna go ahead and get on plane here and get out and start setting these traps, and we'll bring you along. Let's go. All right, guys, so we are here at our first spot. We have some traps that are going to be inside of Biscayne Bay and some that are out on the ocean side. And we're getting ready to, we're about a third of a mile here. We've got the first traps already baited. We've got pig's feet in, and we'll show you that. Once we get the traps off the boat and we're going back for the next trip, we'll show you some of the bait. We've got pig's feet that we're putting in the traps, and we've got cowhide that we're putting in our bait cups as well. We'll show you that when we get some of the traps. The boat's pretty full. We really can't maneuver around the boat too easily, but we'll show you that when we're getting ready to drop them. All right, guys, so here we go. It's our first commercial trap in 27 years. Getting ready to go down. Delay. There she goes. Hopefully we have a good season. Hopefully it's a good season for everybody, and everybody catches a lot of crab. Let's go. All right, here we go. We are moving along, moving along. Beautiful day. Dropping our first line here in the bay. All right, you ready? Tírala ahí. So what I'm telling them to do is drop them. We have them marked on the, we mark all of them on the GPS, the exact spot where they're at. It's a lot of boat traffic here in the bay. And if we happen to get one of them cut off, we could easily find the trap, either by jumping in or by seeing it. Here we're pretty shallow, and we could grab it, you know, with our gaff hook. Tírala ahí. Tírala, tírala. Tírala means throw it. What I really want to get, what we're trying to do, is get right on the actual spots. If it gets run over, if you're off by, 30 feet from where it's at, you got a 30-foot radius that you got to try to find this thing if it gets cut off, making it very difficult. Dale. They look good. They look good. We've got our navy blue buoys, which when I was younger, we had two boats. My dad had one, my grandfather had one, and so the buoys were navy blue and yellow on one boat for lobster, and the other boat had two yellow. So we're going with the navy blue nostalgic color that pre-kindergarten I used to paint and get ready for our lobster season. Dale. All right, guys, so we are now crossing through Caesars Creek. We've already dropped our first load of what's going inside of Biscayne Bay. We've got some other ones that are going inside of Biscayne Bay as well, but we're running down to North Key Largo on the second trip, and we don't want to go by the same area twice. So we've got a few more that we're putting in here, and then we've got some in the bay down that we're going to be putting in Key Largo. And then on the ocean side, we're going here from South Day to kind of North Key Largo and see how that goes for us, see how it does. But we're getting the traps ready right now for the next line that we're going to put here once we get to the ocean side. And we're putting our pig's feet and cowhide in each one. And we've got 2 more lines to set out here, 15 apiece. And then we'll be heading back for our second trip and get her loaded up and baited up so we could drop the second trip. Alright guys, so we are getting ready to drop the last 15 that we've got in this line here. We really got to pay attention. We got some other traps here next to ours. Tírala. All right guys, so we are leaving here. We got the boat loaded. A lot of boat traffic today. It's Columbus Day weekend is this weekend, so there's going to be a tremendous amount of boat traffic today, tomorrow. It's really going to get packed in here on Friday. I'm sorry, not Friday. Today's Friday, Saturday and Sunday. But we've got the boat loaded up with our next our last 50. We took 50 on the first trip, and now we're bringing out 50 on this trip. And once we get these set, we'll be done, and then we'll be pulling them on Sunday the 15th. We'll start pulling our commercial traps, and then we're going to come out on Monday the 16th to pull our recreational traps. Bye. Oh, my wife and the baby. She went over to the trail. I heard the hey babe, but I didn't look at it. So good when you watch this, babe, know that a woman said hey babe and I didn't look. But we are leaving the Black Point Channel now, headed out to the ocean, and we'll bring you along when we get out there. All right guys, we are getting ready to drop the first one. Make sure the audio is recording, and it is. We're getting ready to drop the first one here on our second trip that we're doing. And we are in extremely shallow water right now. I might have to trim these motors up a little bit as we're dropping them, but we'll see here as we go through. We've got the rest of the traps that are going out in the deep loaded up in the bow to kind of give us some stern lift here. Tírala. And the rest of the traps are going to be going out on the ocean side. bring you guys along on October 15th when we go to pull them. Tírala. Beautiful, beautiful day today. Just have a ton of boat traffic out here. Looks like a lot of people took off today. Today is Friday the 6th. So stone crab season started yesterday, but we couldn't come out yesterday. Got 10 in this line that we're putting here. Tírala. Tírala ahí. Tírala. All right, guys. So now we're done with our line inside, and we are going to head offshore outside to the ocean side to go ahead and put the rest of our traps in. All right, guys, we are out here now, ocean side. Beautiful, beautiful day. I mean, you can't get any better than this. We are on our last trip. We gotta get these set and go back home and get the boat ready. We're going sword fishing tomorrow and record some more videos that we've got coming up on our Garmin series. We've got 2 videos posted under that series now. We've got 5 or 6 videos still to go for that whole series. We're gonna see if we can try to get those wrapped up this weekend. Gonna get in line here. We've had a lot of interaction and good feedback, a lot of messages that we've been getting in our comments on the Garmin video. Suéltala. So we're glad that we could help a lot of folks, and we want to go ahead and continue the Garmin series, and hopefully we can help more people out there. The autopilot one, we got a lot of messages. We helped a lot of people get through some of their issues with their autopilot, and we kind of lived it. You know, we went through it with ours. We had a bunch of issues, and long story short, I mean, we had our heading sensor was mounted in a spot. I mean, we had it 4 years mounted in that same spot with no issues, and it was getting magnetic interference that slowly over time was deteriorating the sensor, and so we had to move it. We recalibrated, which we got a video on that too, where you guys could check it. Suéltala. We got a video on that too, where you guys could check your magnetic interference on your heading sensor, which was super useful. It's you could do it yourself at home from your autopilot controller, and we really didn't even know about it. The folks that were working on the boat didn't know about it, and when I called the Garmin, they are the ones that had me check it. Super easy to do. You could do it yourself. If you have it mounted and don't have any issues on it, you can still check it and make sure that you're not getting magnetic interference, so you don't run into the same issues that we ran into with ours, where it worked perfect for 4 years and then it just stopped working. Tira la soga. Tírala. So real helpful. We'll show that thumbnail now here when we go to edit the video, so you can take a look at it, but it's under our Garmin 101 series, and it's actually very useful. Puedes tirar la soga para que se mantenga tirado. Real useful, because if you have it mounted, you might have issues that you don't even know about. And we were lucky we did not have to replace our heading sensor, but it's a pretty pricey part to have to replace on your boat, so good preventative maintenance to check it. Tírala. Sun's about to fall. A lot of boats traveling by, and we're getting their wake here. But it really is a beautiful day. And I forgot to record at the marina when we were loading the boat. We were baiting it quick because we wanted to be respectful. We had some folks coming in. We don't want to hold up a dock. Tírala. So we were moving pretty quick with the cowhide and the pig's feet, but we've got cowhide and pig's feet left over. We brought extra just to make sure that we had enough, because the pig's feet, I mean, they're in the box. You don't know how many you're getting in there. It depends on the size of them. But we're going to take what's left over. We're going to put it in some 5-gallon buckets to drop into the freezer, so we have for our first pull. And when we go to do that, we'll count them. We'll show you. They look real gnarly. They got the hide on, they got the hair. Those are not food grade. Those are for fishing and for bait. We'll show you that. And then the cowhide. And the cowhide is basically, the whole cow. Tírala. Basically the whole cow. When they slaughter it, right, to get the meat and all that, they skin the whole cow, and you get the whole hide of the cow, and then you cut it into little squares that are like 4 inches by 4 inches. And that's what we use for the bait for our traps. And when we commercial fish, we also use cowhide in the lobster traps. Very effective bait, very durable, lasts for a long time, and gives off an incredible smell as it starts decomposing. And that really attracts the lobster and the crabs to your trap. Tírala. You know, traps are the crabs are scavengers, so you know they try to, you know, they eat a lot of things, but you know, they love to find a dead fish, or you know, something that's been attacked by a predator fish, and you've got the remains of it, and so you know that gives off a stench in the water. And the cowhide has that same effect, but it's extremely durable. It lasts for weeks in the traps. Tírala. So we'll show you that here, guys. We're going to go ahead and finish dropping this line, and then before we go back, I'll show you the pig's feet and the boxes, so you get an idea of what we use for the bait, and the cowhide as well. And if you're going to get into doing this recreationally, obviously you're not going to buy a whole hide of cowhide to use. That'll last an eternity with 5 traps, but fish heads work very well, and you could get fish head or fish carcasses, and that works really well too if you're doing this recreationally. Tírala. So we're gonna go ahead and finish this line here. They're giving me the evil eye. I'm doing a lot of talking, so I gotta concentrate on the driving and speed it up a little bit. But we're gonna drop the line, then we'll come back and we'll show you the pig's feet and the cowhide. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so we finally finished setting all of our traps, and we came inside the bay here to get away from all the boat traffic and all of the traps that are currently out. There's a lot of guys putting traps in the water, and some of the lobster guys pulling the traps. But before we steam home, I want to go ahead and show you what we talked about earlier in the video, the bait that we're using, the pig's feet and the cowhide. So we're going to put it back in buckets, and we're going to show you first. When you get home, we're going to freeze it and take it out on the first trip and keep using it. All right, guys, so these are the infamous pig feet. Saca una ahí para poner en la cámara. Levanta una ahí. This is pig's feet that we use in our traps, and then the cowhide that I was talking about, and these are already cut into little squares, but you go ahead and you get the whole hide. It's the entire cow. And I think I took a picture of it in the bed of my truck when we bought it, and I'll drop it in here in the video. But essentially it is the entire hide of the cow, and then we cut it up into these squares. It's heavily salted to try to preserve it, and then we dump them in our freezers at home, you know, to try to preserve them even longer. So that's the bait that we use, guys. The pig's feet and the cowhide. All right, guys, so we hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for coming along on our journey, going back into commercial fishing with me and my dad. And please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our content. Like I said, we've got a lot of videos that we're coming out with. We're going to add to our Garmin 101 series. And then we're also going to bring you along when we pull our commercial traps. And we're going to bring you along when we do our recreational traps. And you get to meet the baby and my wife. They'll be coming on that trip as well. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.